What is going on, dwellers of the world? What do we have today? A long video to show you guys everything. This is a recap of last week purchases, and I'm also gonna throw in a recap of my sales on this video. Now, this video is not to brag. One, it wasn't a ton of money, but it's not to brag. It's not to, I'm making all this money. No, there's a lot of things that go into it, but I wanted to share with you guys at least last week's sales. Now let's get into it. Now, I ended up spending a total of $240 on everything that I bought last week. Now, here in Cali, it's been raining, so there hasn't been a ton of sales. There hasn't been a ton of things to pick up. So the 240 is very low. I usually spend 400, 500, 600 bucks on a weekly basis on everything that I buy. And even at 240 though, it was not bad. Like it was a good amount of money. But let's get into it. The first item I'm going to show you guys, or at least the first pickup, is the Nintendo Switch pickup video game. So I ended up buying a lot of 15 or 16 different video games, and I'm going to post some here. Now the lady said, hey, $125, right? And as I was driving to the pickup, she messaged me and said like, hey, I found more games and a Pro Controller, I'm just going to throw them in the deal. So when I got there, I gave her an extra 15, 20 bucks, I think, for everything else that she threw in. She was very happy and pleased with the extra money. All good. So $140 on this deal was a great deal. We're talking Mario's, Luigi's, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, like a bunch of different video games that sell well. And right now, being Q4, everybody's buying video games for gifts and things like that. It was a no-brainer. So I bought it. And like I said, I'll post a few pictures because again, I don't have them anymore. I shipped a lot of them out already, but it was a really, really good deal, guys. So at $140, I was very happy with that. Okay. Now, I'm also going to include a little clip now so you guys can see. And now that we're back, on that clip you can see me holding a wetsuit. Now the lady wanted $5, brand new, that was never used. And I don't deal with a ton of like clothing like that, or at least, like wetsuits or any different sports. But it was brand new, and at $5, I couldn't just leave it behind. Even if I sell it for 30 bucks, I'm already making good profit, right? Because again, it's new. And also on that clip, you guys can see I'm looking at a electronic box or a box with electronics in it, right? Now, I ended up buying that for $15. And the reason why I bought it is because it had a little inverter with two batteries. And I sold those in the past for 50, 60 bucks, and it sells quickly. Like it doesn't last long on the shop. So for $15, I also bought that. So I spent $20 on that sale. Now, that sale will also bring me good return because again, a brand new wetsuit and the inverter thing. Now, the last thing that I will talk to you guys about, at least when it comes to pickup, is I went to an estate sale. And at this estate sale, they had a lot of brand items. So there was, LV, there was Coach, there was Cartier watches, and other things like that. But what caught my attention was this right here. And we'll see if the camera focuses. If it doesn't focus, I'll put a clear picture so you guys can see it. But what this is, and I think it was upside down. Now, I paid $50 for a Rolex watch. Now, every time I find watches at estate sales, yard sales, and things like that, I don't get my hopes up because I know most of the time they're either going to be replicas, which 99% of the time happens, right? And at $50, I was not hopeful. Let's but that's just me though. Like I buy things, it makes a cool video, and this would also be my intro picture or what you guys will see at the beginning. And I bought it just for the video. I bought it just so I can make a cool video, show you guys, and then either throw it in a box where I have all the replica stuff, or but it's a small watch. It's not a big watch, so I wouldn't wear it. It's not for me. But at 50 bucks, I was like, you know what? I'll take a gamble. I'll take a gamble and I'll buy it, And I also bought a few other things on there, and I included that with the $50 price. So I had a cable and a video game at that estate sale. The lady wanted $3 for the video game and $2 for the cable, which would bring $5. So I said, hey, if I buy the Rolex at 50, would you throw this in with the price? So, 45 for the Rolex, 5 for the thing, however you want to slice it and dice it. And she said, yeah, $50, yeah, let's do it. So I paid her the $50 and I left. Now, the cable sells for about $20 and that video game sells for about 10. So I'll make part of my money back just in that, but again, it's not just about the money. It's about, showing you guys like, hey, like this is what I found, something cool. And again, that brand, whether or not it's authentic, is still cool to see. But that's just me. Let me know if you guys think that also is cool to see in the comments. But that, so I already has spent $140 on the video games, plus 20 with the wetsuit and the electronics of 160, plus the Rolex was 50, 210, right? And the other $30 were just like random things here and there. I think I found about a few ergonomic mouses. There was two of them, I believe, and that was $10. I also bought, I don't remember, to be honest. But we were there. We're close. $240. It was a light week. And again, the rain has not made it easy for us out here in Cali. We don't get a ton of rain, right? Um, but the last thing I will talk to you guys is about my sales, all the sales I did last week. Now, this was from Monday to Sunday. Okay. I sold a total of 26 items, and that includes video games, shoes, uh, purses, and then, a bunch of random things. I'm not going to show you guys this, it'll be a too long video, but I'm just going to summarize it. 26 items. I made a total of sales of $977. Very good week. That's probably my average, where I average every single week. Between the $700 and $900 average. And I spent a total of $240 in items just last week. I'm not counting past Monday, so this was just last week. For a total of $737 in net sales. Let's just say after I remove what I spent. Now, does not include shipping, does not include fees or anything like that, but let's just say an average. I made $550 last week just for being home, packing, shipping, and things like that. Very good week. I was very happy with that turnaround. Now, I could have gone to work. I could have, gone and do something else where, I would have been making $600 after tax, but I am home and I run my own business and I can do things like this where I can record videos and show you guys. Now, again, I'm not going to show you all the items. That would take way too long for this video, but I figure I'll just integrate this into my videos, especially if I don't have a ton to show. Let me know if you guys want to keep watching and listening to, how much I sell and then how much I make. And I'll keep adding it. Like I have no issues showing you guys what I make on a weekly basis. As always, hope you guys are having a good day, good week, good month. Coffee in hand, and we'll catch you guys on the next one later.